I know.
So you made it to the University of Nairobi to study?
Education, just because the government thinks and everyone else thinks that we can only fit in teaching.
Goodness, don't tell me
you know,
that.
Even
the government.
Cocoon. Trust me. They feel that it's some.
Oh, no.
They want to give us they have defined us. You know, they have judged our ability even before trying us. You know, and that's what the foundation is trying. Like for Dr. Choksey, what she does when a child comes, maybe from a blind school, because that's what she started, 80% were in blind schools, but now it's below 15%.
Below what?
Yes, 15%.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Lifestyle Thursday. It's the 5th of December, so we're getting into the mood of Christmas. And I'm here with Dr. Choksey and Florence, and we're talking all things albinism. So, Dr. Choksey, you started this foundation, and I love the passion that you have for them and that you love them. And I think that's what God does. He'll give you the love for them because these are the people He has called you to. So maybe Florence, first, what kind of programs are you running? And you said you came for 1 year, but you stayed for 4. Yeah. That's a good sign. So something good is happening. So just tell us about your experience, especially with Dr. Choksey, and anything you want to let us know.
I think having worked with Dr. Choksey, I feel like I've been in an internship that I'll never get anywhere else.
Good, a learning environment.
Yes, like she has given me what no one else would have given me.
Wow.
So like in the foundation, about the programs, we have 2 main programs. We have the one for eye checkups.
Yes,
so she sees children from all over the country and sometimes even outside the country every Tuesday for the last 10 years. So
children with albinism or all kinds
with
of
albinism, the
children
foundation with albinism and adults too. So she checks because she's an eye specialist. So she's actually, our office is her clinic.
Yes.
So we get to have our time there as the foundation only on Tuesdays for the last 11 years.
Wow.
So she doesn't see her patients on Tuesdays. So what she does, they come, she checks the eyes. You know, our consultation is 4,000 per 5 minutes, but the whole day she gives it for free.
For 11 years.
For 11 years.
You,
so she sees them for free, and then we have someone that has been paying for the glasses for those 11 years, a friend of hers, who is actually 83 years old, and is a very nice Asian guy called
He's been giving it for 11 years.
11 years. The foundation is paying for the glasses.
Whatever they need.
Yes, she checks them for free, so she gives her services as an ophthalmologist, and then someone pays for the glasses. And a pair costs more than 6,000, like the one, beautiful pairs. And the children choose the pair, you know the way you go to a shop and you choose your frame. So you choose the design that you like for yourself. So that's one. She has seen so far over 1,500 children and adults with albinism.
Wow.
Yes, and then we have another program on education sponsorship. You know, when she started the foundation, checking the eyes, because she realized the main problem or the main disability in albinism is the involvement of the eyes. She realized later that being born white, in quotes, in a black continent, in quotes, so it somehow, when the child is born, the family tends to disintegrate because one of the parents, like the other one, cheated on them because of ignorance. So the family, even if they were together and they were doing well, they end up disintegrating. So most of the education is affected, and mostly for the child with albinism. So they sort of
also like disregard
poverty,
his child.
And the poverty comes in. You know, some become orphans by just default. You know, so. If they were in school, they don't go to school anymore. They cannot afford school fees because maybe one of the parent that has left is the one that is supporting. So she decided to be paying school fees for the children. So she pays 100% for those who are total orphans, then 75% for those who have one parent, and then 50% for those who have both parents, but they cannot really afford as much as they have tried to be together. We also have support from NIC Bank. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's not NCBA because
yes,
of
NCBA,
support
yeah,
students, I think, at M-Pesa.
Yes.
M-Pesa Foundation
So they
Academy.
also give us, they are our main sponsor so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
For
so apart from, for education,
for
yeah.
education.
Yes, apart from her patients and the Asian community.
That's
so
amazing.
Those are, as much as we have other small programs like creating awareness, we also give sunscreen, we do mentorship, you know, as their elder sister in the foundation, we talk to children, you know, we do gatherings for girls, you know. So we have other, but those are our two main programs that we can run.
And it's amazing that you've been there for 4 years. Actually, I never thought about that the eyes were the most, but you also made a comment before I come back to Florence and find out about her own experience with albinism and living with albinism. But you said sometimes that the eyes are not that bad, but because I saw somewhere, and I think you said it last time, that some are forced to do with braille, but they can actually see. But it's just because we've assumed we're not checking on the eyes of the children.
Actually, 2007, when I started the program, can you believe it, that time 70 to 80% of the children were in blind schools. Almost 50 to 60% of the children were taught in braille. So that I came across many children who did primary in braille, secondary in braille, and university they went with pen and paper. For the first time they held pen in the university. That means all along the child was actually seeing, and there were people were putting. So when you come across children like this, where I knew that a pair of glasses, you know, even the first 10 patients, 9 could see so much better with the glasses, which they had never worn. They had never gone to an eye specialist. Nobody had ever, even they were admitted to blind schools without ever a checkup from an
without assessing the eyes.
Yes.
It was just an assumption.
Yeah, it's just an assumption because they squinted their eyes when they go out in the sun. They just thought that these children were blind and they needed education in the blind school.
Wow.
So when I realized that I could do something about it, you know, it was just the thing that I'm an eye specialist. I'm a very senior eye specialist, and I could actually do something. And that's when the journey started. You know, you actually have to feel that you're needed somewhere.
Yes.
And at that mother figure in you also, you know, right from my childhood, you're a nurturer or this. And I thought that these children are, and of course stories came from Tanzania about killing these children, selling their body parts, you know, making potions out of their skin, and such beautiful children. I thought more than I think they of course needed a very competent eye specialist to them, but more important, they needed somebody to call mom, somebody to call an elder sister, a family, you know, family where they feel they belong.
Yeah, and it's amazing because I was going to ask you, Florence, even when you said that some of these they bring problems in families, but I'm surprised that the hospital doesn't tell you that this child has albinism. You see, they should tell the parents that.
Even some of the doctors do not understand. Even not so many doctors can like prescribe glasses for me as someone with albinism, because our eyes, we have I don't know if it's nystagmus or something. So we keep on shaking. So sometimes you go to a hospital, to an optician, and they're like, stop moving your eyes. You know, it's something that you cannot control.
It's an involuntary movement.
It's involuntary.
Wow. Yeah,
so
I can
most
actually see now.
doctors
Now that you
cannot
said it, now I
understand.
can see it.
So when they're checking, they keep on telling you, don't move your eyes, and it's something they don't understand.
That it's something that's just happening.
So I think for like having us in our hands is the greatest gift that anyone could have given to us, because she's doing it from a mother's perspective. Trust me, sometimes, you know, sorry, you didn't ask this, but
go ahead.
In that foundation, not being biased, but sometimes I'm actually the one who tells her, please don't do that, because sometimes when anyone walks in, they just come with a story, and sometimes she tells me she knows it's not really genuine, but she buys it because she says they don't have any other person to tell that to, you know. So she takes in everyone, and she makes sure when you walk into that office, you don't have to fill a form for you to be helped, you know. You come like as if you're coming home. So it's a conversation between you and her. And you see the way you have to pass through a program manager, blah, blah, blah. I only book the appointments. She talks to them. Actually, some of them, I never even know what they're coming to do. They just tell me to book an appointment with her. Yeah. They come in, they say, and they get help, because she says, if you come to that office and you don't get help, where else will you get the help? She's not sure about that, so she has to help. So for her, she works from a mother's perspective. And that's why I'm telling you, for me, it has been like a life's internship, like a life lesson, because she has taught me that you do not have to have money for you to help. You know, the way you're bringing us here to bring out the message of albinism, that's your contribution to the society. Because you have to help from what you have. From, you know, as an eye specialist,
that's what she has.
She's acting from her point of view. She doesn't have to give money. What if engineers? She says that. What if engineers did that? She says, what if lawyers did that? As a pastor, you're preaching it. Yeah, through this ministry, you know.
People,
that's how we give back. And that's some of the things I've learned from her.
And I think that really doesn't need money. I don't need money to be a mom.
You need your
gift
gift also. You just need your training, which is so perfect, because for me, my role is to equip marketplace leaders.
Good.
So every day they're engaging with the market. But you have this gift, like yours was for many years of experience. How do you take that gift and use it? And I remember one time somebody asked me, can I tithe my time? And that's what you've done. So every Tuesday for 11 years, but then because this is about leadership, there's consistency. Because people start things and stop. Things, and I'm always telling people the mark of true leadership is being consistent. So whether you feel like doing it or not, every Tuesday you're there, you're up, and you execute, you know, and that's powerful. Because consistency is key. There can be no Tuesday where you feel like you're off. And like you said, it's using your gift. You've just used the gift that you had, that you've been trained for, that you've been equipped on, to now look at these children. I think it's amazing. I never even thought about the three things that you said: the skin, the hair, and the eyes. But the most important thing is the sight. And you can imagine giving a child even the choice to choose the glasses that they want. You know, it's all a fun engagement, and also testing them. So instead of lumping it and saying everybody is blind, let's test the level of blindness. What is it that you need, you know? And that's amazing. Florence, where did you go to school?
Actually, I'm a product of a blind school in primary level.
Okay.
Not because I was like blind, but because of ignorance.
Assumed
my parents actually did not. They thought I am blind. My parents, because our firstborn brother also went through the same school.
He's also had albinism.
Yes, so he was taken to a regular school up to class 3, and then they realized that he's getting sunburns. You know, they didn't understand. Also, teachers were complaining that he can't see the board. You know, something it has to be understanding. So my parents shifted him to a school for the blind, and that's when now I was also enrolled there for 8 years. But now after class 8, we were the first group. I and my friends, we decided that we are not going to a high school for the blind, because normally from a primary school for the blind, they want to take you directly to a high school for the blind. So actually I told my mom I'm not, because I was a good performer. So I got 362 out of 500. So I told my parents I was not going to a blind school. And I actually had selected a school in Meru, a girls' school. So I got a letter, and my mom was so insecure. She thought I would not survive. So I went to a normal high school. I did chemistry. I did biology, you know, normally. And then I made it to the University of Nairobi.
Really?
Yes.
We have to celebrate that. I just say it casually. So you made it to the University of Nairobi to study?
Education, just because the government thinks and everyone else thinks that we can only fit in teaching.
Goodness, don't tell me
you know,
that. Even the government.
Trust me. They feel that they want to give us they have defined us, you know. They have judged our ability even before trying us. You know, and that's what the foundation is trying. Like for Dr. Choksey, what she does, when a child comes, maybe from a blind school, because that's what, she started, 80% were in blind schools, but now it's below 15%.
Below what?
Yes, 15%. Because whenever she wants to sponsor a child, she cannot sponsor in a blind school. She tells a child to select another school, you know, and the child must be comfortable in that other school. So we encourage enrolling in regular schools.
And the numbers have gone down that drastically because the children are not blind.
They're
actually not blind.
You can check my glasses, prescription, and you can check someone else's. Our prescriptions differ. Yeah.
But you know, even Goldalin, you know, Goldalin Kakuyatanga, the girl who came first, created history in Kenya.
Yes.
in 2017. You know, she was, the first day she came to me, her mother brought the result to show me. That child had not come second in her entire career in primary school. And she came to me, I think she was in 6th standard or something, and parents, you know, father was not doing very well, and they said that if I can support, you know, and I knew that day that, you know, that child can go very far with little support. The first day she came, that same day she went home with a check. So I don't, and you know, Angie, for these people, I see them like children. They have traveled from far and they've come. Do you know, I give lunch money to everyone. So many people I pay transport, because if they don't have transport to reach me, how will they reach me
Forget
at all?
about transport. They leave with a check.
Yeah, they leave with the check the
If
same day. I don't tell them come next time, because they've traveled from Kakamega, they've traveled from Meru, they've traveled from far away. I don't want to wait, and that's why I'm so grateful to, you know, our sponsors, that money, when there's money in the bank, I don't want to keep money in the bank and not give it off to a child who needs it. You know, the education is something I really want every child with education. It's the weapon I want to give them. They will fight their own battles. They will. Nobody can touch Florence, or nobody can touch my other children now that they've got high education.
You know, Pastor Angie, let me add on that. You know, the thing that most people do not understand with any kind of disability or poverty or anything like the marginalized community in Kenya, if you keep on giving things, giving these food, giving shoes, giving, you know, it's like you're making that person an IDP in their own country,
yes.
you know,
You're
and you
making them
cannot give
dependent.
them in their own, you cannot give them for the rest of your life.
Yes.
But when, you know, my problem is eyes, you know, give me glasses.
Give me
First
the
of all, sort
solution.
that one, so that I can see the world, to
Yes.
pick for myself. Then give me education. Surely with the education, you have like everything. So we believe in, you give glasses because it's like giving a wheelchair to someone who cannot walk. Give them a wheelchair, then give them education. But don't buy them shoes, don't buy them blazers.
You're just
because
enabling
that thing
and
will
you're
wear
keeping
out,
them
you
there.
know. Yeah.
You're not giving them the thing that can get them out of this cycle.
That's the battle that the foundation is fighting.
I love that battle. And we'll put out there how people can be involved in your programs. But we still have to do another video with Florence, because she hasn't still told me all about her life, her challenges, and to encourage. But myself, I'm encouraged. It's the month of December, and it's a month of giving, you know, because that's what Christmas is about. It's about giving. And so I pray that many people will align with your foundation. I pray that somebody who's watching this, if you can give of any kind of help, please do. And I think also I can speak on behalf of Dr. Choksey and Florence, that if you can give your time, if you have a gift, you know, that you have, give of that gift. You know, give that gift. If you have an experience, give it. And it reminds me of a movie I watched recently of The Intern. Even people who feel like they've retired, nobody is concerned about you anymore, it's time to give back. Find a way to give back. But I urge you, and this Lifestyle Thursday, support Dr. Choksey and her cause, and also you become, I'm almost saying, a cause yourself, you know? Find out what you're gifted in and give back. And find people to empower. I think I love Florence's word. Find people to empower. Get them out of the cycle. Don't keep them in that cycle of poverty. God bless you, and see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.